All right, we got Kevin Stitt hitting the mark, so-called, because after I did my video talking about the corruption going on in Oklahoma and their medical market, he comes out and says people need to vote against the medical community, and we got these crime and this whatever going on. Okay, so we got that little match in, and the Billie Eilish, she talked about the stolen land and those types of things, and you have Kevin Stitt coming in and talking about the tribes and going against them in certain ways. So all these little connections, and then the Lee spirit for the dragon, and there's 10 overhangs with the dragon on it. And then yesterday we had the tiger dude die. I don't know where his name is. Either way, that ties into, he was 85, and he ties into your pastime as far as your major league things and your referee, the referees. And so as Trump is doing his Trump RX, and you have the Sea of Green and the Lake of Fire and those types of things associated with cannabis, and you have the so-called all the Christian Baptists and whatever else are down there in Oklahoma, that Bible state, but they're also 50% or more are medical card holders, so it's a state on the most high in another way. So the medical community, they're trying to do this, that, and the other. And then you saw the pharmacy and the Wild West and all that stuff come in. And the Wild West was in the West, and the Gold Rush and the Dust Bowl in Oklahoma. All those things are like interwoven in all this little thing. So as, and I also told y'all back when to be looking for this cannabis quake and so-called, and then UN, and basically what we could be seeing for a month, week, and a day is like a massive bust through the UN and those blue helmets and whatever else in one way, or the ice and how they're working this thing. But, and that blockchain technology and the home grows and whatever else. And then Texas has a big home grow community, so-called, and they can grow the hemp and whatever else is going on. But they're trying to bring this into a spectrum where the hospital, the hospital, all these things are changing in a way, and they're changing through men and being gathered through men, as you have the capitalism and going into these one things, and they're setting up new structures in one way, shape, or form. So that's where this hospital's been gathered. And then you have the AI coming in together. And AI thing is probably going to be hard to get one if you're going to be like, eat such and such first and get your BMI down to what, blah, 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 and blah, 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 and get how many steps, and then you can get a prescription, right? So the actual health care, and you actually only get the pill when you get hurt, which is more than likely like when you break something, you need a painkiller or whatever kind of thing. But you actually don't even need that. You can just use pure opium or pure cannabis oils or whatever else is going on. You don't need those bullshit pills or whatever. Pills, bills, and deals. So either way, if y'all have been noticing all these little connection points, and then we're the summit with the chick with the red hair, and then the red gown connecting, but it's connecting to the hair, over the nipples, to the dress, and all those little symbolic forms or whatever, and that Red Sea divide, and the mountains and whatever, and the chests and the valleys with that circle and the crowning going from one to the other. And you got to make your way through the bush to get to the nip and the nipple, the Nipah coming on this world. And they showed a clock timeline which lines up perfectly with the clocks I told you way back when, overlaid into this final 23 and such on whichever. And then we actually have a 23 on Trump's anniversary in 2028, which all lines up. All these little clocks have been connecting and seeing how these things play out and whatever else on earth. Okay, folks? So if you don't understand, it's not my problem. You just got to ask the questions. Okay? Billy Elliott is on that. Sinai, the Sen AI law firm. The ICE is giving out death cards. The Denver field office, the field is tied to this. This is part of your rapture going on, where one is left and one is taken. Cleansing of a nation, the white horse riders coming in. Either way, folks, we'll end it here.